Welcome to First Wing, a Fourth Wing podcast.
I'm Brianna, and this is the start of my Iron Flame journey.
And I'm Kendra, an experienced dragon rider here to help this second year. Just a quick note, this book contains explicit content including swearing, sex, violence, and death, and so will this podcast. We're not really that far enough in the book for any of that.
There's a lot of deaths here. We just don't know them.
Okay, fine. That's true. Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. There's definitely some dragon violence and death in this one.
Yeah.
Today we are discussing chapters 7 and 8. We ended off the last one with them like super excited about Rhiannon being the squad leader, and like her first order to them is to live.
Yep.
So this one chapter 7 starts out with all tome requests at the archives of Basgiath must be recorded and filed. Any cadet who fails to do so will be reported for dereliction of duty, as well as punished for the loss of any text they failed to accurately track. And that's Colonel Daxton's Guide to Excelling in the Scribe Quadrant.
Yeah, and as this episode goes on, we'll have to see if we think that Violet knows this or not, because this is actually relevant.
I would assume you would assume she would know this.
Yes.
It's the Guide to Excelling in the Scribe Quadrant.
I agree.
Don't tell me she hasn't read it.
I agree.
I don't know.
But
That's
then
wild.
also
Yeah.
her action.
That's a good point.
Is she thinking about this?
I know. That's a good point. We'll see. There might be even a later chapter that we could think about that more and see what she knew. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, we start out in this room. It's a U-shaped amphitheater-style classroom, and they're there for orientation. So this is before the first years have arrived, and this is just like a kind of a funny, repetitive communication going on, where like Riddick's like, "I've never seen this room before," and then Rhiannon's like, "We've never been second years before," and he's like, "Good point," and then Nadine's like, "How have I never seen this room before?" And then Violet says, "Never." I'm just like, okay, good, but it's. I think what it shows, though, is this great camaraderie with the whole group now.
Yeah, especially showing Nadine, because before she was having issues with the marked ones and stuff.
Yeah, and she's like happy and part of the group and stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, there's a line here where they talk about what they've been doing this week. And we talked before about what do they do to prepare for the first years? What does that mean, preparing for the first years? But they give one example of what that means, which is learning our roles at Parapet.
Yeah.
So that was something, because we were like, what do they do to prepare? What does preparing mean? What, do they just think about it? But here's one thing they have to do to prepare for them to come.
What is every other squad doing? Because their squad is the only one up receiving end of Parapet.
Maybe that's Fourth Wing's job, because that's what
Zayden was doing last time.
Yeah.
And then there's another squad at the other end taking their, remember there was a couple people there when Violet went across. So that's probably another squad over there. And then what is every other squad doing? Because that's just 2 squads. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Are they making the first year's beds?
This is they're not going to have to do, only first years are going to have to do these basic chores once they arrive, but they're not here yet, so who's doing them? Probably still everyone else. So yeah, maybe they're probably moving out of all the first year areas and then maybe cleaning and prepping them.
Yeah, if you remember correctly, the first years in the beginning all slept in this big dormitory just full of bunk beds, but they don't continue to sleep in that. They end up, once people die, they move in. But they move in then to sharing rooms.
2 spaces to prep, presumably. If they move rooms, what should they do? I think in second year they move to a higher floor with better security or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just interesting thought. We don't have an answer. So.
Yeah.
And they did say that in addition to learning their roles, they're also drinking too much at night.
Yes.
So they have some free time. They're being given some sort of. My guess is you don't go and get drunk regularly during the school year.
Right. Probably
seems
not.
Like they're just
because
getting
they
it
have
all
to
out.
concentrate a lot, and if they mess up a little bit, they die. So
yeah,
just for life preservingness, they probably don't drink so much.
They really don't.
Also, Nadine talks about how she sprained her wrist because she slipped on the steps, and honestly, I didn't even know what to think about this. It's okay, This is just either like flavor text to bring up Naolin and how busy he is, or this is like a lie. Like she's lying to them, and this is like plot stuff that has to do with that guy who likes to torture people or whatever. Varnish.
Oh. Varish.
Or
we should just call him Varnish.
That's I don't funny. Know. Like the way she said, like it's embarrassing. I don't know. Or this is gonna get her killed. Like she's gonna be like, "Oh, my sprained wrist did something." It just seems so random. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Too random to just be flavor text. But I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Okay, good. Yeah, she sort of says that, and then they pass it by.
Right.
Yep. Nothing else is said, and then they're talking about how the other quadrants get like 5 or 6 days to get away. So we heard that earlier. But I guess it's just for the other quadrants, not for...
Maybe they just were confused.
The writers. Or maybe it's just the second years going on to third years that get that 5 days. But I don't think so. I think Imogen is here, right? Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen her yet. Maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe
I don't know. It's confusing. I thought they were supposed to be able to go home for just a few days, but I guess not.
Because it's just the second years that are on the parapet. Maybe it's just the new second years that are doing this whole thing. Like you don't.
And Dane, who's a third year now.
True. Okay, fine. I don't know. Maybe not. I keep trying to figure out how that one worked, where they said 5 days off the end of the year, unless it's literally only the other quadrants, or maybe it's like 5 days mostly off from the. I don't know. I wish we should find
lived close enough by you could see them.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't seem to fit really here, so. Violet sort of makes a joke about recovering from the last 6-day break she had, which wasn't really a break. And then Rhiannon's sort of like, hey, I'm here to help you if you want to talk. And then she's like, starts thinking like, yeah, maybe I don't know how I can do this. Maybe I need to start separating myself from my friends, you know?
I hope that's not what she chooses to do. I like these people.
I do too. Okay, so this dude comes in. He starts to say he's a captain, but then says he's Professor Grady. So we do kind of learn this, I think, earlier that some of these writers take these, whatever you call it, like they come in and they have a few years as a professor, and then they might go back in the field again.
Yeah. We need professors, and so unless there's people like really volunteering all the time, I'm sure they just have to pull people sometimes.
Yeah, and this guy is obviously, he's brand new into the professor part of things, you know?
Yeah.
And he says that, like, it's been a while since he's been around a bunch of kids, you know, kind of like, forgive me for, like, as I get used to this. And then they show some use of, like, the lesser magics where he gets, like, the desk to come over to him so he can, like, lean on it. Yeah. And then he mentions that there's 89 of the second years, and that the scribes are telling him it's the smallest class to walk this hall since the first 6.
Yeah. Just crazy.
It's just the less, it's either a lot of deaths for sure, and also smaller amounts of dragons bonding. Yeah. I'm not sure. There was a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, if only 100 dragons bond, I forget the numbers, like 107 or something.
Yeah.
And then a third of them always end up dying.
Right. And then she's wondering from him, like, does that mean the Empyrean knows about the venin? Like, maybe they're, like, bonding less because of that? And he says yes. He's a little exasperated. And she's like, well, we need more writers, not fewer. And he says the Empyrean remains divided on whether or not we should get involved. Humans aren't the only ones keeping secrets.
Which makes things make so much more sense. And also is kind of what I was getting from this. Because I was like, there's no way that all the dragons are on the same page as Taryn and Indarna, because they're, like, gung-ho. But I'm like, I can't believe that Melgren's dragon, or like, you know, like there's definitely, there has to be different opinions among the dragons themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So this was just confirmation of that. But I'm like, okay, so even they, but like, whatever, it's the same logic. Like, what's going to happen if you don't get involved? Dragon fire cannot kill venin.
Right.
Don't you need the humans to protect you?
I don't know if they think that it's going to ever get past the wards at all. They just think, well, goodbye, Paromial. You know, like, I guess they're just all going to get eaten up, but we're fine.
So the dragons who are bonded to the riders who are weakening the wards to save Promish citizens, are they like a rebellion inside the Imperium? Like, do the other dragons know they're doing that, or are they keeping that a secret? Because it says, like, humans are the only ones keeping secrets. So are they all like...
I think that's kind of I don't know. That's kind of interesting because it sort of indicates that the dragons among each other are not communicating what they're doing.
Yeah. So that's super interesting. So I wonder if Indarna and Terran could get in trouble. Or if Terran's
Yeah.
just like too big to get in trouble.
He's
He's like, I will fight you.
yeah, exactly.
Try me.
I don't know. It's very fascinating. We definitely do not understand how the dragons, handle like laws and put out punishments, or like what does that, how's that work?
Yeah.
Are they sort of like, well, whatever, it's your life, you can decide. Will they fight each other if they don't disagree? I just don't, we don't have that information right now.
No, we don't.
So, okay, so Professor Grady is still talking, and he brings up here that they're going to have this special class, which is like, what do you do if you're off your dragon? It's called the Rider Survival Course, RSC. And this is a secret, obviously, because no one's heard of it. So he's saying, okay, good, we did a great job keeping it classified. Like, no one's said anything. No one's even like signified. They're like, oh yeah, there's something that we can't tell you. It's pretty good for that many students. I kind of can't believe that it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's true. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But I just want to say, like, I don't see at one point Violet being like, wow, I can't believe Xaden didn't warn me about this. So, like, she can understand the concept of why you keep certain secrets. Like, she's like, she can't understand that. She just doesn't believe that Xaden secrets are, like, those types of secrets, which is ridiculous.
True. I mean, also every second year for years and years and years have kept this secret. So, it does give it.
But all the other marked ones are all keeping this a secret. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Here, but
I know you are right.
it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny. So RSC is going to teach them how to survive if they are like behind enemy lines without their dragon. I wonder if they're saying that because you can't use your signet if your dragon's not around. I don't know if that's true. Interesting.
It's not, because she's done lightning like in the courtyard when Terran. I mean maybe there's a distance where you can't at a certain distance, but it's definitely not right next to you.
Yeah, I just realized that. Of course she's used her signet without her dragon around. I mean, they weren't having sex on Terran's back.
Right. But how close is the veil? Like, the veil is like kind of right next to
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a several minute flight, because do you remember when Terran was trying to get to her when the cadets were attacking her? It took him some time. So if the flight is several minutes, it's not super close. It's not super far. You know what I mean? Like, to fly with big wings like that and take him.
You mean Xaden?
No, Terran was like, I'm coming, but I'm not going to make it on time.
He was going to show up at the castle and do what? They're inside.
I'm just telling you what it said in the book.
I just don't remember that.
Oh.
What would he have done?
Break the window and she would jump out the window? I don't know.
How could he have protected her without putting her in danger in that situation? It's fine. It doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure that Xaden was out on doing a thing and had to come in.
I do know that.
That's why he took a bit.
Yes. We can go back and look at that. I don't have my book with me, but I'm almost positive that he said I'm not going to be there in time.
Yeah, well, my book is in a box somewhere, so.
Yeah, Brianna's packing and moving.
Yep.
So he says it's like this is a staple of your second year. There's going to be 2 like evaluations you have to pass, one in a few weeks and then another one around mid-year. And then here's where we introduce this girl, Caroline Ashton, again. She was the one who was like friends with Jack. So they bring her up again.
I don't remember her once. I was like, who?
Caroline Ashton bonded with a dragon whose rider died. And Jack was like, yes, I knew you could do it. High five.
Oh, yeah. And the dragon just died like falling off like in a minute.
The kid just died falling off, yeah. And then the dragon bonded with her. And he was all excited about it. She was one of the unbonded. So they gave her full name there, which always is a sign. They give a full name.
Okay, she's going to be like the new one.
Or she's something. I mean, she's coming up again here, right?
She's gonna die,
Yeah. Yeah, they're either giving us her name because they're gonna cause trouble or they're gonna die. One of the two.
Yeah, or we're gonna be their best friend.
Otherwise, it just says someone from first wing or someone from third wing. They don't say a name. Yeah. So she then is asking, like, what do you mean about around mid-year or in a few weeks? And he's like, yeah, we're not gonna tell you.
I think that was clear, but I think the writer, the author, not the the author had to clarify that.
Yes,
For us,
exactly.
the readers, to make sure we got that.
Yeah. I like how he says, it doesn't matter how many times you roll your eyes. No professor is going to tell you the precise date. We want you to be surprised. But we do want you to be prepared. In this room, I will instruct you in navigation, survival techniques, and how to withstand interrogation in case of capture. Dun,
Yeah,
dun,
and I was like, why do I
dun.
feel like Varish is definitely gonna want to be involved in this particular class? He's like,
Sounds
oh,
like his thing.
I can interrogate the students. Anyways, I'm just waiting for him to like really do something. I mean, in these chapters, his dragon, but
Oh, yes.
I'm like, what is he gonna do? So I'm like, this might be what he does, you know, just starts being like, oh, we can just kidnap and torture the kids whenever we want. That's what I heard from this.
How fun. And some of them don't make it out alive. Man, sounds like my life.
Guess they didn't do a good enough job, huh?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And that is really, withstand interrogation in case of capture is a very polite way of saying torture.
Yeah. Violet is like, oh, okay, so torture. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I'm like, in case the reader didn't, like, miss that somehow.
Yeah. Which I think I would have if I was just casually reading this and no one
You're
pointed
like,
it
oh,
out. I think
interrogation. Like, asking
like-
questions.
exactly. I'm like,
also-
sure.
I'm like, oh my god, she actually has something to, like, be interrogated about. This is, like, not good.
Right. Which is what she's thinking too. Like, oh, crap. Oh, wait, I'm allowed to swear on this podcast. I've said that before. We're not allowed to swear on the Percy Jackson podcast, so I have to like switch my brain over. And then Nadine's like, they're gonna abduct us. Oh, Professor Grady says something like, you'll be taken from any place in the quadrant, so they're gonna abduct them. And Riddick's like, oh, it's always something around here. Of course. And then it's like ends with this like ominous thing where he's like, don't break during the interrogation portion. And then Rhiannon's like, what if we do? And he says, don't. That's where I get this idea, like, it's like, or we're gonna kill you? Like, is it getting that, you know? I mean, This academy is all about them killing them, basically. Yeah. And do you make it through? Factory. Are you? It's a death factory.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is crazy. Like, I wonder if a dragon can help with that. Like, is that weird to think? Like, you know how you can sense the dragon's emotions sometimes when they're really powerful? I wonder if a dragon could, like, help with interrogation. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Send them beautiful pictures of, like, you know, calming spaces.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't because they want you to be brave.
Yeah, I mean, the dragons want you to be brave, but they also want, at this point, probably want you to live because you've now been theirs for over a year.
True. I mean, Taryn does not like when she gets a little bit injured.
No, he's very protective in such a cute way. Oh my goodness.
Saying a little bit is probably not fair. A giant burn across her back. Just a little bit injured.
I love that scene so much that when he comes. Okay.
Yeah, it was so good.
It's such a great scene. All right. So she's a little bit like, holy shit, this is not good news. They leave orientation. So that was orientation, right? And she goes to the archives. And then there's this whole like paragraph about how it's like home and it smells so good. And listen, a good library smell or just a good book parchment smell, I'm there for it. She makes a funny comment here about like in her head that she thought climbing their ladders would be the scariest thing she'd ever do. And now she's like, has this ever-present danger of Vice Commandant Varish. She has Ado's threat hanging over her head. She's got the secret revolution that could get all these people killed. And now there's going to be torture this year. Of course. Yeah. Anyway, so she has been waiting for Jasenia for her name to show up as like being the one that handles like the book requests. And so this is the day where she finally is.
I cannot understand why. Is it because she thinks she'll just trust her without asking more questions? Because whatever. I don't understand why it has to be Jasenia specifically. Because she's just like, oh, I'm doing a history project.
Well, Jasenia and her are friends. So if Jasenia was a little bit suspicious, maybe she thinks that she would actually say something instead of just be suspicious and say something to Violet instead of to someone else.
Yeah.
Like, it's just safer. If she's going to do something that's slightly dangerous, it's much safer with someone who really likes you. Jasenia really likes her.
Yeah.
We see that, you know?
I just thought she was going to, like, actually ask her to do something. Like, not put her name as someone who grabbed the tome or whatever. But no. It was just interesting. I was waiting for something more dramatic to happen because she was waiting for Jasenia, but then it didn't. And I was like, okay.
I mean, she's borderline. She's like, you know, like anyone else, if someone is just like a little suspicious, like, are they really doing this debate class and decided to look into it? You know what I mean? They'd be like, what is she doing? And they would report it to someone, you know? The likelihood of Jasenia doing that without talking to her, I think, is just less. Yeah. It's just the safer option.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I'm not just going to sit around and not get involved. Obviously, I've got this information. Basically, she's got this information about this ward stone. What is she really good at? What does she really bring to the revolution that she can do right now? It's research.
Yeah.
So she's waiting for Jacinia here, and when she shows up, we have this little exchange about how Jacinia was actually like enthusiastic and was like, wow, that's like not normal for scribes. They usually have to be like no emotions in the scribe quadrant. Yeah. Jacinia mentions that she's sad that Liam died, that Liam was a nice guy. Because remember, he used to go with her to the, when they would go pick up the books. He was there that one time that scroll fell out, right?
And he flirted with her.
In his I flirt with everybody way. Yeah. And he knew sign language too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of sad. She brings it up, and, of course, that makes everybody sad, including the readers. And so Violet decides to go ahead and ask. She kind of I think she sort of debates here how much she should say to her. But she's like such a smart scribe that she's probably working directly with Markham, who we just know, like, okay, Markham has to know this stuff. So he can't be trusted, So she doesn't want to say anything. So she just asks about like older books about the founding of Basgiath, and then makes up this whole lie about she's doing a defense for a debate in history about why Basgiath is there instead of in the place where the king is, which Chaldear. Yeah. Let's say it's that.
That's funny. I read it Calder, so who knows?
Would a Y be? I mean, sure. Calder, Chaldear, Caldire. No, I think it's either Calder or Chaldear.
Yeah, and she says that this is her first real lie. And so this makes me wonder, because it says all tome requests must be recorded and filed. Does that include the reason?
Oh, I don't know.
Me neither. This is why I'm like, I'm worried. But like, I don't know. Is it just like your name and what you're checking out? But even that, I'm like, you should know that that's what they're going to do. If people are keeping an eye on you, I don't know. Like, is no one going to find out, really?
Oh, for sure, right? Like, if someone's already knows what she knows, like Atos, who is being moved out, but still, someone else has got to know, right? He probably
told Varnish. Yeah. I'm going to have to get his name down.
I love it that you call him Varnish. Yeah. I mean, it's very true. This is super risky. I'm sure Xaden would be not a happy person.
I'm surprised Taryn's not in her head being like, can you not do this, please?
He's like, man, I'll just break down the whole castle and kill everybody if there's a problem.
Maybe he's sleeping right now.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That's a good point. Okay, good. So we end this chapter with her saying that like 10 minutes later she got the 2 tomes, and she's like knows that the answer to protecting Arisha is in the archives. She just has to find it before that's like too late, where wards wouldn't even make a difference. Yeah. I don't know. I guess
after they already get inside them.
They've already got inside, I guess, yeah.
Which Brennan thinks is like, what, 6 months?
6 months. Yeah. Yeah, that's 6 months can go fast.
That's why I cannot imagine this entire book is at Basgiath.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8, top blurb says, it is one thing to cross the parapet your first year, but watching countless candidates lose their life to it feels a little like dying too. Don't watch if you can help it. This is page 84 of the Book of Brennan. Yeah. I guess he was assigned to one of those squads.
Hey, I don't know. Plot relevant people have to be there for parapet, okay?
Yeah, that's right. So this is conscription day. This is when all the new recruits are coming and going to their certain places.
Yes.
And Violet's squad is up on like the main tower, or the tower of the main war college. So it's like where the kids go up the stairs, give their name, walk over the parapet to where the rider squadron is. So she's up there.
It makes me genuinely wonder whether they went through that stone tunnel thing, or if they all crossed the parapet to go over there.
I bet you they went through the stone tunnel. I don't think they're sending them over. I don't think so.
She went up there that other time to go get Xaden.
Well, he was in the middle of the... Which way is she going to go? Either way, she'd have to walk.
No, I'm not saying that she should have gone a different way. I'm saying that she was like, this is so easy. Even in my skirt, this is so easy. Like, the muscles, the balance, the lack of fear makes this, like, not an issue. So I wonder if they all just were like, oh, whatever, and just crossed. Or if they were like, why risk it? We're just going to go under.
I wonder if they just get a choice.
Maybe.
And the ones who are just like, man, I need a little practice today. I don't know. That's a good question. But don't have an answer.
But wait, do they say in this chapter once all the first years cross the parapet, what do they do? Do they cross parapet to go back over with them? Or do they
It
go
doesn't say.
all the way down the spiral stairs, back into the college, cross over by the healer's quadrant, and then come back?
No clue.
Me neither.
She doesn't really want to look at the individual candidates because she doesn't want to have to think about them as anything other than just shapes and blobs at this point.
Also, yeah, and Dane says that she's like not allowed to basically give them anything except for just saying good luck or whatever. Of course, she breaks that rule, but
of course. I love this whole scene with Dane. Oh my gosh, the funniest thing about it is how much this whole squad does not respect him. It's really, you know what I mean? They just don't respect him. Now, maybe every other squad in his, because he's a wing leader, right? So he's got a whole bunch of he's got 3 sections and whatever squads. Okay, so he's got a bunch of squads, right? Maybe they're all do because they weren't under him in his, because remember, he was just a squad leader. He went straight from squad leader to wing leader. He was like, only had one squad underneath him, and it's all these guys. Yeah. And so the ones that actually have worked with him don't respect him. What does it say? I think Violet ruined it.
Yeah.
Violet ruined it.
I don't know if Dane really did anything wrong. I mean, to Violet, he definitely did.
Yeah. But as a leader.
No. Yeah.
They don't know. You're right. Anyway, so yeah, so I kind of love though all the conversation happening here. So like Nadine is like leaning over the edge and like saying they look nervous, and Violet's also nervous because she's right next to memory stealing hands, Dane. And so she's like locking her shields in place. So obviously they've been practicing that, we don't really get to see them practicing that, but it's obvious.
Yeah. She says that he's made one attempt to talk to her since like everything happened at graduation, and Violet shut him down, and then she says, what the hell kind of right does he have to look heartbroken? And I agree with her. She already said she didn't want to be in a relationship with them. So, like, I don't know, unless it's the heartbreak is just like losing a friend, probably. I guess. But also, it's like you stole her memories and then used them to kill her friends. And you are like, I don't understand why she doesn't like me. Like, you're more delusional than Violet. Like, honestly.
Yeah. I don't even know how much Dane ever liked her beyond a friend. Like, it's weird. It was always weird. Even when he kissed her, like, I never really got that he, I don't know. I felt like he was, like, trying to think that way. But it seemed like, I don't know. There was never any, like, feeling of passion from him towards Violet. Just passion of, like, oh my God, you can't die.
Yeah, but I felt like that was just ingrained in him by his dad. Like, just from the position between her mom and his dad, and then them growing up and stuff like that.
Yeah, them growing up together, and him having been concerned about every time she's hurt herself in the past, whatever. Like, he's grown up having to be concerned about her health.
Exactly.
I don't know. Anyways, so there's a mention here about how it's not raining like it was at Parapet for them, right? And this is why they mention, like, you would have had thought your mother would have held off the storm last year considering you were crossing. And then Violet's like, clearly, you don't know my mother. She wouldn't, and then in her head, she's like, she wouldn't call the storm to kill me like a coward, but she sure as hell wouldn't stop it to save me either. So I think that's what I was thinking about when I mentioned it to you earlier.
That's exactly, like, I was like, this is like the exact comment you were like, wasn't this exact thing said? It said here instead.
Yeah.
And it is technically said at Parapet, just, the next year.
That's right. I know. I was like, God, I was sure. But yeah, like, so she's like, she's not going to try to kill me that way, but she's not going to go out of her way and make the weather nicer because that's not what she does. She doesn't make anything easier. That's not her goal in life.
I like how she said like a coward, as if it was like, yeah, well, if she wanted me dead, like, she would have fought me. She would
That's true.
Covertly like a coward.
Yes, but then, like, we don't, like, okay, of course, since we don't know which way this is going, you don't know which way it's going, but, like, if we were to think the way you were thinking of, like, maybe this will kill off Violet, isn't that also a covert way of killing her off?
Yeah. So then what the fuck was she thinking?
Right. Anyways, I just thought I'd point that out because it's kind of funny. We do not know what the mom's thinking yet.
I would love to think, I still would love to think that has to do with Melgren somehow, some way. Even if it wasn't Melgren, like, saying, you have to do this, but maybe, like, she found out information about Violet and a battle and was like, well, we gotta do it. Whether for the good or for the bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, good. So then Dane is saying that only 91 dragons have agreed to bond, so obviously that's a lot less. and that more candidates making it across isn't going to mean more writers. So, which I don't know. It's like, okay, do you want them all to die? Anyways, so I guess if less die, it's not going to give them more writers, is what he's saying. But at the same time, if less die, then they're not dead. I mean, come on, let's be nice here. I mean, just because they don't bond doesn't mean they're going to die. We figured that out, right? Like we thought, like I remember you thought like maybe they die. What happens at the end? Anyways.
Yeah. But so Dane is so like third year mentality. That's so third year mentality.
It is, right?
Well, I don't care if they die. We only care about, having enough bonded writers.
Exactly. Okay, good. So the conscripts are walking up that spiral staircase that was mentioned in the first book. And then Dane's like, remember the rules. Matthias and Sorngale, your jobs are only to take the final roll before parapet. Don't engage. And then Violet cuts him off. We know the rules.
And she's thinking about the fact that Xaden's supposed to arrive today, which I already forgot about by the end of this chapter.
Because days have gone by. So a whole week, it must be now a week since he left. Because the idea... Yeah, that's right. And then she's thinking about how he left her these craft books on weaving fabric into traditional tierish knots and some fabric left behind. And she's like, it's not like I need a hobby.
Yeah, this is weird. I'm like, if there's more to this than just a hobby, he probably should have explained that. If this really is a hobby, that's weird. I think she's a little busy. But right. I'm like, do these knots like hold power or like can save her life in some way or mean something to you? I'm like, give any more information than this cute note, which is a cute note, but it's not helpful.
Right. Yeah. So Xaden's note said, I meant what I said on the parapet. So he's obviously talking about the time when she went out to see him on the parapet, because what other time he's talking about? And then he says, even when I'm not with you, there's only you. So she realizes, okay, he's fighting for us. That's what she realizes here. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, that's all he's been doing, but fine.
True. And then Dane's like, and Nadine? And she's like, I don't have a job. I was just bored. And then he frowns at Rhiannon and is like, running a tight ship there, squad leader. And then Violet thinks, what an ass. And then, is it she who says this? Yeah. I guess she says this. There are no regulations about 4 riders on the turret during parapet. Don't even get me started this morning, Atos. Oh, wait, no.
This
is she, but it's got to be Rhiannon.
It is Rhiannon.
Okay. Yeah. So even she's like giving him shit, She's just like, don't start on me. And if you even think about telling me to call you wing leader, I'll remind you that Ryerson did a hell of a job without needing everyone to supplicate themselves to him.
Yeah, so that was funny. I love her just be like, I'm not going to call you wing leader.
Yeah. And and also don't give me shit.
Yeah. But then Nadine counters, like, under her breath, that the reason why he did such a great job without people having to supplicate to him was because everyone was scared shit. Like, because he scared the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, except for Violet.
Yeah.
Which is...
which, of course, makes Dane more mad.
Which is so funny because my sister sent me this, like, video, this, like, what's it called? Reel, whatever. But it was just talking about, like, the common sort of tropes kind of every sort of type of genre book, and the thing about fantasy romantasy is it's commonly, like the scary man and then the woman who's small and yet still like isn't scared of him and is sassing him and then he's like, that's cute, I think I like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is totally, that is definitely a trope that is so common in fantasy.
Very much so.
Romantasy, yeah.
That was my mother-in-law's actual real-life experience.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Because her
except for he wasn't a fairy or a dragon rider.
He was in a gang. And his older brother was like the leader of the gang, and she would sass him and never take any shit from him. And she's the only one who could do that. She
could write herself a book.
But she didn't want to date him. But yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Anyways, so Rhiannon decides to bring up the new vice commandant, Varish. And then Dane says, like, he doesn't know anything about him except for the fact that he's a complete hard ass who thinks the quadrant has gone soft in the years since he graduated. He's friends with his father, which we kind of figured, right? And Rhiannon's like, oh yeah, it's a real daydream around here. So he thinks he's going to toughen up the quadrant more than it's already tough, which is it really just shows you, not needed, and it shows you exactly what kind of like power hungry, greedy, I don't know, sicko person he is. Yeah.
So the first years are coming
Violet thinks like they look so young. She says it to Taryn, and he's like, well, you did too. But he's been pissy for the past 2 days because it's just been too long without Sigale, you know?
Yeah.
He really wants to just take off and see her, but he's also like, yeah, that's going to get Violet in trouble. So he's, you know, got both things going on, tearing him apart.
Yeah. It's bad. But she's on her way. He should know that. He should be happy right now. Like, when does she fly into
they're
rain?
hoping he's on his way. Yeah, you still get antsy when you're not like sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder how close, like at what point is she in range for them to be able to talk?
I don't know. That's a really good question. So then we start getting the candidates showing up, and it's like Dane says, step up, you know, basically you give your name to the roll keeper there, and then once you're on the other side, you give your name to the roll keeper. And the whole purpose of that is to see who died, because if you're on one side and not on the other, you're on the death roll.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So, Violet is thinking of all the advice that Mira gave her, and she's like, has to stand there and not give any advice to these cadets, and it's like a whole challenge, and she has to just like not watch them. So as this is going, like after she like watches a candidate slip and fall, she's just like, okay, that's it. Like she just has to like toughen up and not pay attention. That must be horrible. Like, do not look at this person in the face. Do not memorize what they look like. Do not smile at them. I mean,
yeah,
absolute no connection needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then they have this one guy who just charges across and tosses the other candidate aside, and it's like, oh great, Jack Barlow Jr.
Oh yeah.
Just what we need.
Right. Also, we get this name Jory Buell, which one of the very few ones named. And I didn't know if this was just like her then being like, okay, that's enough of knowing people's names, or if it's like this will be the one first year that's in their squad or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Well, not the one. There's multiple, but one of them.
Yeah.
Or if they're just gonna die, you know.
Right. So you're just wondering why we've actually heard the name. Or maybe they're just showing how the name system works.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's just like goes to the next person. She like is about to ask him the name. I love this. And then she looks up and she's like, Cam?
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell's he doing here? Okay, so in this beginning, before they say who he is, what are you thinking? She's like, what are you doing here? Does your dad know? Oh my goodness. What are you thinking?
Nothing really until Dane. Like, I was like, okay, she knows him, so it's probably one of the general or what. Like, it's one of the leadership kids. But then when Dane says he'll kill us all.
Oh, okay.
I was like, it's the king's son.
Good job.
But hold on. We're going to
okay.
This one little thing before we even see Cam.
Okay.
Is her explaining to us, the reader, that everyone here who joins the Writers Quadrant, it says they're all volunteers, unlike the other quadrants, which take conscripts who pass the entrance exam. So this was like a whole discussion I had on conscription day in the first book.
Yeah.
Because we were like, well, what does conscription mean? And then we looked it up, and then we were like, but wait, I thought they said they were volunteers. So why is it called conscription day?
Oh, that's right.
Because this is why. But anyways, but her saying they're all volunteers made me think, well, not the marked ones.
Yeah, those were the only ones that weren't. Although they did volunteer to the degree of like, we'll take this chance instead of dying.
Technically, Zayden volunteered them all, but yeah.
No, I don't know. The conversation they had where they were like, they did choose this over. Maybe it was just the older ones that had the conversation. I don't think he had the conversation without finding out they were willing.
He would have like involved them.
Not to everyone, because obviously
the other option was death, wasn't it? So it's
right.
Like,
so it's like
actually a choice.
No, it's not a choice. Or being watched all the time and being prison. I don't know what their other option was. I don't know if it was immediate death, but it was sort of like this is the only way for them to gain trust.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember, but that's fine. But yeah, you're right. This shows that the guys going into the other quadrants have been conscripted into service.
Some of them volunteers, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them volunteer, yeah. But this one is all, like, you can't go to the Writers Quadrant unless you're a volunteer, which is amazing they get so many people. That is amazing. Still amazing. When
you listen to Alexander Hamilton, I'm guessing it's like that type of mentality, where it's like, risking death is fully worth it for your family, for your loved ones, to be able to rise through the ranks, gain like money and status and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And a dragon.
True. Who doesn't want a dragon?
I want a dragon. Come on. Yeah. I'll take a tarn. Okay. So yeah, so she sees Cam. And he says his name is Eric?
I mean, if it's A like Aaron, it should just be A.
Eric. It should be
Eric.
Eric. Okay.
Yeah.
Eric Grey Castle. I always call him Arik in my head. So we'll see. I may or may not go back and forth on that. But so she's like, did you just make that up? Because it's awful. I love her familiarity.
Well, she thinks that Eric is his middle name. She was like, oh, I think
Well,
I know
yeah.
the name Eric, but Grey Castle is made up.
Especially because he's the king's son. Castle.
Also, doesn't their wing look like a castle made of stone? Like, is he just like, gray castle? Just like, look at the first object next to him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, lifts his chin up, like, don't fucking question me. Like, I'm doing, like, that's my name.
Yeah.
You know? So she glances over at Dane, and Dane's like, are you sure about this? And she can see she can see like his care at this point and kind of thinks a little bit like, this is my Dane. But he says, there's no going back. You cross that parapet, that's it, right? This is it. And he's like, yep. And they're like, okay. So Dane asks him, does your father know? And he's like, it's none of my business. I'm 20. That's not how it works when you're the prince. Sorry, buddy. And he's like, oh yeah, that's going to make a difference when he realizes what you're doing. He'll kill us all. And then Eric is like, are you going to tell him? And I'm like, nope. He's like, okay, good. Ignore me. So then she's like, we're second squad, flame section, fourth wing. Like, basically be in our squad. Because, whatever. You have at least a few people on your side that know you and will protect you,
Yeah.
And then Dane, like, is about to say something, and she's like, not today. This is like everyone just like, you're not allowed to be a wing leader up here, okay? You're a doofus up here. We're just...
I know. I love it. I don't know if it already happened, but at some point... Oh, yeah, no, it hasn't happened yet. But at some point, Dane, like, shakes his head and mutters about losing every fight today.
Yeah. It's funny. Anyway, so Violet does make the right decision here and decide to tell Rhiannon that is King Tari's third son.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I can't keep everything. Yeah, she can't keep every secret from her.
Especially after inviting him into her squad.
Yeah. And then there's this comment, which I think was made also earlier, that in the first book it was mentioned that King Tari's oldest son died also.
Yeah.
And here it says during threshing. It just says during threshing. That's all it says.
Okay. That made me think a dragon probably killed him, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
for sure. That's what you would think if you hear that. And then Rhiannon's like, oh, that should make for an easy year. Okay.
Yeah.
This is good. Great way to start the year. And then she's like, name. And then we get Slone Mari.
You
were so right. Every time you said something about her, I was like, oh my God, she laid her out perfectly.
I mean, it just makes so much sense, because if she just came in and was like, I don't know, scared,
my favorite
and
person.
And Violet got to be a perfect mentor and they had a perfect relationship, it'd just be boring.
It would be boring. Let's add some spice to our book right now, since we don't have Xaden, a different kind of spice.
Yeah. I do have more predictions for her after this chapter ends, because I'm like, yeah, anyways, we'll see.
Okay. All right, so Violet is immediately like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is her. This is Liam's sister, And Rhiannon's staring and Dane's staring. Everybody's just staring at her. What does she think at that moment? Anyways, and then she's like, with an E at the end, which is so, I don't know. It just cracks me up. It's so high school.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Also, though, I think she's probably thinking, well, they all knew my brother. Like, he was just there and died. Like, it's not weird for most of the writer's quadrant, like at least half of the writer's quadrant, to just know her last name.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so this is where Violet's like, okay, I promised I would take care of her. I'm going to step over the line here. So she's like, stop, tie your hair back. She gives her a hair thing. It says, braid is best. And then Dane is about to say something and she just glares at him. And she's like, literally, she's thinking like he's the reason that Liam's not here. Anyway, she says, don't you dare say another word or I'll blast you off this turret, Ados.
And then lightning, like
lightning, yeah.
Like, wow.
And then this is where he's like, he sits down and mutters something about losing every fight today. This poor guy.
It's like his first real day as wing leader.
I know. He can't discipline these guys at all.
Job.
Yeah.
And the audacity for him to be like, Rhiannon, wow, running a tight ship.
He can't win. He can't win. With this squad, he cannot win. There is no way. And he knows it. He's not going to pick
feel bad for him, but he deserves it, so.
Yeah. Okay, good. So she's like kind of staring at her and like Sloane is and tying her hair back. And then Violet says, arms out for balance. Don't let the wind sway your steps. Keep your eyes on the stones ahead. Don't look down. If the pack slips, ditch it. Better you lose it than your life. I have to remind myself that every time I slip with a cup of coffee, because sometimes I want to save the cup of coffee and not myself. This is when we find out that Slone is not going to be just like, oh, wow, you're such a sweet person. Thanks for taking care of me. She's like, you're Violet Sorrengail. And then something that looks a lot like hatred fills her eyes as she leans down with a quiet voice and says, I know what really happened. You got my brother killed. He died for you. And it's kind of true. I mean, he literally, they intercepted the wyvern that was going to go for Taryn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
also,
it's not wrong.
Whose fault is it really? Zayden's.
No, whose fault is it really? The Venet. No, whose fault is it really? Ados. Oh, wait, no. Dane? We can really tie this back.
Okay, true. But, like, okay, he died protecting Violet, but was Violet like, please protect me
no.
and risk your life for me? No. Do you know who said that?
Zayden, who is in charge of all the marked ones. Yes. Yeah. Anyways.
So I don't think it's Zayden's fault either. I don't think it's anyone's fault. I think risking your life for a friend could have happened whether or not he was sworn to protect her. That's just
but she's also a Sorrengail. Yeah.
I know, I get it, but
yeah, so
it's just I understand why Slone is mad. It's definitely a very common emotion that comes with death of someone you love. Yes. But I'm like, you should be more mad at Zayden if you're gonna pick out of the two of them. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I totally agree. And she starts saying she's sorry, Violet does. And Slone says, go straight to hell. And I really mean that. I hope no one commends your soul to Malik. I hope he rejects it. Liam was worth a dozen of your kind. Your kind. Yeah. And I hope you spend eternity paying for what you cost me. Anyways, wow.
Yeah.
Poor Violet here. Poor Violet. She's already gone through so much pain for losing Liam and this. But I kind of like how she just kind of pulls her shit together here. And she's just like, okay, she doesn't have to like me, you know? And she just says, do me a favor. Put your fucking arms out so you don't see Liam before I do. Do it for him, not me. And then... Anyway, so then she does, obviously. Rhiannon's question here, what in the angry Mari was that about? I thought that was a funny way to ask it. Obviously, she could just say, Slone thinks it's my fault that Liam died. I don't know why she thinks she can't say that.
Everyone knows. You don't have to be a marked one to know. Everyone knew that Liam was
protecting her. Yeah. And they all thought it was because Zayden. I mean, they knew that. They knew that so much. They remember that fight where Liam told Riddick to be Liam for him and watch Violet? They all knew he was her bodyguard.
Yes.
So how hard would this have been to just, anyways.
I think she just can't, I don't think it's I can't talk about it, I can't lie about it. I mean, it's just I just can't talk about it. It's just too painful to talk about, period.
Yeah.
Plus, if she's really emotional, then she might be scared she'll slip up and be like, and then the wyvern, I mean, the griffin.
The griffin, not the wyvern. Yeah. So she does actually watch her walk across. She does actually keep her eyes on her the whole time. She makes it. She's like, thank the Lord. And that's the end of the surprises for that day. It's just the two surprise one after the other.
Yeah.
Or for that moment, I should say.
For that moment. But also, I guess that means, unlike the other times when they would wait till someone got a third of the way across to send the next person out, she just was like, no one else is going out till she crosses.
She wasn't gonna take the risk of one of the another junior Jack, racing across and tossing the person in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's so funny. Okay. 71 candidates fall from the parapet, which is 4 more than the year before, despite the weather. Okay. They just weren't as good. I don't know.
Yeah.
So now they're getting into formation, and they're basically dividing all the first years into the squads that are already been divided. So she's keeping an eye out, and she's noting that there's no sign of Slone yet, right? Eric has been assigned to the squad, so he must have told, I guess, I don't know. He must have said something like, hey, can I be put in this squad? Or something,
Yeah.
So Riddick and Nadine and stuff are standing behind the first years and having this little conversation about how weird it is to see them, and how nervous they are, and kind of seeing it from that angle as a second year. And then Nadine's like, I almost want to tell him it's going to be okay. And then Imogen's like, it's not polite to lie, which is true. You can't tell them it's going to be okay. What are you talking about? They're all dragon fodder until threshing is what Imogen says.
Yeah.
Imogen's kind of funny here. Like one of the cadets stares at her and she like does the little twirly motion with her hand, like turn around.
Yeah.
And then Violet's like, be nice. She's like, yeah, I'll be nice once I know that they're going to stick around. Even then, she's not nice. I don't know what she's talking about.
That's what Riddick said.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, it's not polite to lie. Like
she's never nice.
The ones that are going to stick around.
Imogen is not known for caring about people's feelings.
No.
Okay, so apparently Riddick got a tattoo. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And then it mentions a first year. This is the first year besides Eric that it mentions the name of being assigned to their squad.
No, and that other one, like Larry. Wait, what was it?
No. The first one being assigned to their squad.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you're right. I know the first name. But yeah, no, this is Vizia Howlin is called to their squad. She thinks she's oddly familiar.
I don't know what that means.
She's a repeat. It says she's a repeat. She survived angering an orange dagger tail at threshing, barely, but didn't get bonded. So now she's repeating the year. So I guess they walk across the parapet again. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you just really repeat the year from the beginning.
I'm so curious what the first year is doing the whole time they're not bonded. Because she's like, it's almost like she hasn't seen this person this whole time. And now she's just seeing her again, you know? Anyways, whatever. They get a chance. Which means they can also maybe just be like, okay, bye, and go somewhere else. It's not very clear.
I guess they could just leave and then they re-sign up the next year.
Yeah. So Slone is called to first wing, sorry. And Violet is like, no, that's not going to work. Like, how is she supposed to keep an eye on her?
Yeah.
But it's so funny because Violet doesn't think Dane, and I actually thought this was very nice of him because he knows enough here that he like steps up and asks for Slone to be put into this section. This specific squad, not just his wing, but the squad that Violet's in. And he does that for her. And I know that can't make up for it.
No,
but it still is
nice. Thing he's done
for a while, yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. So he fixes that and it gets announced that Slone is to 2nd Squad, Flame Section, 4th Wing. And I wouldn't be good at trivia because I consistently forget what section they're in. I'm like, is it claw? Is it flame? What's the third one? Wing? No. Hold on, let me look.
Claw, tail.
Yeah. I forget all the time which section they're in. So they're in flame section.
Yeah.
All right. There's just so many numbers. Well, designations, I should say.
That's why I highlighted at the beginning of my book. So I can always look, see what they're at.
Which one they're at, yeah. That's smart.
Flame section, 2nd Squad, 4th.
Yeah. Okay, good. So Slone shows up and sees Violet and is like, nope, I refuse. Anywhere but this wing. I mean, anywhere but this squad. And Rhiannon's like, I don't give a shit what you want, girl. Get in line. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, it's needed at this point. Like, they already heard her be so rude to Violet. And at this point, they're just like, okay, we're going to be protecting you, but we don't have to like you.
Yeah. And Imogen, like, kind of joins in here and helps because she knows Imogen. Slone does.
Oh, I know. That was great. Yeah. So, yeah, like, Sawyer is like Mari, and then they're like, it's Liam's sister, and then Riddick's like, no shit. Like, so because remember, Sawyer and Riddick weren't up on the parapet. I don't know where they were. And then Imogen steps in and says, stop disrespecting your squad leader and get information, Slone. You're acting like a spoiled aristocrat. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, which I think kind of helps tell us that their family was a very
rich or whatever. Yeah.
Family. Which I think we kind of knew from Liam, maybe. Like, I feel like something was talked about before about how his parents were quite well known by leadership until they turned or whatever. Until one of them turned.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so here's the part where Rhiannon's like, why does she want you dead, basically? What do I need to know? And she's thinking, okay, only selective truth. So she just says she blames me for Liam's death. And at least if she's in this squad, Codex says she can't kill me. So it's, like maybe a little safer in that regard. Not that I think Violet's really worried about that. She's really just worried about keeping her alive. Like, she really does care about that promise to Liam.
Yeah.
Whether she likes this girl or not. So, and then Rhiannon's like, between Eric and Slone, you're collecting strays.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
I was definitely like, this is all a terrible idea, like, technically, like what she's doing here, Violet.
Yeah.
But for plot and the setup of this book, this is great. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. But I'm like, Violet, you're being dumb. Get these people out of here. You do not need this drama this year. Don't you have enough to deal with? That's fine.
No, she needs the drama.
Yeah.
We need the drama,
Yeah,
actually.
no,
So.
again, for a book, setting up the book for a writing stuff, this is great. But I'm just like, oh, Violet. I think Rhiannon's making a good point.
Yeah. She's kind of looking at Panchek. Panchek's up on stage. He's going to give this welcome to everyone. And then Ara, who is the senior wing leader, Ara Benhaven, is the senior wing leader for the year. So they have, there's 4 wing leaders, but one of them is a senior wing leader.
Over all 4 of them.
Yeah, so like there's a little bit of a ranking among the 4
I do not
wing
remember
leaders.
who that was last year.
I don't either. Was it Amber?
No, she was just the section. No, she was just the wing leader for like second wing or something.
But I think one of the wing leaders of one of the wings is the senior wing leader. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, no, I just get the idea that the senior wing leader is... I could be wrong. Maybe there is a senior wing leader separate. You know what? Someone tell me if they actually explain that. I just assumed that like sometimes you have like, let's say hairdressers in a salon. There's like one that's like the lead or the, but they're still a hairdresser. They're not just standing over watching everybody. Whatever. I don't know. There's ways things like that are laid out. I thought
right, because I feel like them mentioning that 4 people, like the 4 wing leaders would meet.
Yeah.
Not really 5.
That's what I think. So anyway, she delivers an inspirational talk. And then Dane comes in here, like maybe like being what Xaden was before, I guess. Yeah. Although I think Xaden was the only one who talked actually last time, but whatever.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
I don't know. I'm like thinking like, oh, like that is weird. Like, is it just the senior wing leader and then Dane talking? Or do each of the wing leaders talk and we're just kind of brushing past that?
Yeah, I don't know. Because in the first year, I feel like Commander Panchek talked, and then Xaden talked. I feel like they didn't split it in half.
Maybe Xaden was the
senior wing leader.
Senior wing leader.
He might have been. Maybe that's why he was able to switch out sections, full squads. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he did take the entire squad, section leader and all. I'm just like
just switch it. And then it's so funny because that section leader or that squad leader was Aura Benhaven, and now she's the senior wing leader.
I knew I'd heard her name.
Yeah,
she was the section leader.
She was the squad. No. He didn't move the whole section. He moved the whole squad, and she was the squad leader. So he switched.
No. Because Dane was the squad leader. She was the section
leader.
No.
She was the squad leader for the one that was in 4th wing that moved to 2nd wing. So basically, he took second squad of 4th wing, which Aura Benhaven was the squad leader of. She got moved to 2nd wing, swapped with Dane.
Yeah.
And now she's a wing leader.
Who was the section leaders? Who's the section leader of Violet's section?
I don't think she ever mentions it. Like, we just don't care.
Is it? No, because that was the
we don't care.
We switched was the executive officer.
He was executive officer as a wing leader.
Executive officer. Do we care about that?
Yeah, isn't it Ciara? Didn't we meet that Sienna, Ciara, one of those names? We heard it somewhere, or we will hear it. Maybe it's coming up. It might be coming up shortly. We'll have to see. But yeah, no, the flame section leader, no clue. I feel like we've never known that person. We just skip right over into the wing leader every time.
Well, when you're sleeping with a wing leader,
that's how it works, right? Now we might hear who the section leader is this year, actually, now that I'm talking about it. But last year we didn't hear. Okay, so here we go. Dane is talking. The bunch of dragons come in. 5 of them belong to the... Oh, whoa, there it is. 5 belong to the wing leaders. And since nobody else has 2 dragons, then there's a senior wing leader separate. Check that out. 5 of belonging to the wing leaders.
Okay.
Wow, we just learned something. And then it's Varnish's... I'm joking. It's Varish's dragon, it's a one-eyed orange dagger tail. Shows up.
Yep.
And looks temperamental and is, menacing and all that stuff. But she kind of mentions, still not as menacing as Sigale or Tarna are,
Yeah,
Tarn.
She's basically like, this is such a comparison of last year, where she was feeling this fear and this uncertainty and this, and now she's like noticing these emotions in the cadets. No, not the cadets. What are they called before they're a cadet? Whatever. In the first years, but she is like being like, I'm not scared of any of these dragons.
Yeah, I
Like, none of
know.
them are as scary as my dragon.
And she's also, yeah, because she also thinks there's not a single dragon up there who would risk Taryn's wrath by torching me. Literally in this chapter, that is proven wrong. Although,
She thought.
again, yeah,
Only
again,
because this dragon seems to have a very personal rival with her dragon.
yes, for sure. So one of the first years ahead of her vomits, which is nice, and they're sort of like someone says like, I hope there's no sympathetic pukers around here because once one starts and then everybody just starts doing it, it gets pretty bad.
Yeah.
Violet warns to Sloane about like, don't run. That's her giving a little advice at that point.
She asks Taryn like, "Oh, why aren't you here?" And he says that he doesn't participate in parlor tricks, which is
Yeah,
funny.
parlor tricks. Yeah, like he just thinks it's.
He was there after.
Oh, I know. But he's like, I'm not going to just show up just to be like, hi, I'm intimidating all of you. He's like, I don't need to do that to be intimidating. I just am.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But then she says about
Oh, yeah.
orange one. Do you know about him? He looks unstable.
And then he gets worried. He's like, Solus is there? And she's like, is Solus a one-eyed orange dagger tail? And he's like, yes. Unhappy about this. And says, do not take your eyes off him.
Yeah, and I thought that, I was like, this is very interesting. Like, what does that mean? Don't take your eyes off. Even she's like, okay, I'll watch him glare at us, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, or what? Like, it's not like dragons can do like a sneak attack.
No, but she does. By watching him, she's able to catch the telltale.
She saves like all of them.
Yeah, she's able to see what's happening. Yeah.
But it is crazy. I really couldn't. I was like, why? Why would you keep an eye on him? We're in public. Like, what do you mean keep an eye on him?
Right? So, unfortunately, they get a runner because someone finally loses their shit, takes a run for it. And then a couple others decide to run as well. And then Imogen sighs and's like, fuck, they actually think they'll make it. I mean, she must think that's last year as well when the guys ran. But they're running like right towards where their squad is, right?
Yeah, because I guess Fourth Wing's closest to parapet, and they're all running back towards the parapet.
The opening in the courtyard, yeah, where the parapet lies. Yeah, maybe there's just like some walls there they can get behind, who knows. But anyways, she's like noticing this. Obviously, she's not paying attention to Solus, and Taryn yells, eyes on Solus.
Uh-huh.
He knows this guy. He knows this dragon. So she sees him like take this big breath and then also lean over.
It says
very low.
Yeah, he tilts his head horrifyingly low, yeah.
Right. And she's like, oh shit. So she tackles Sloane, but she also yells, get down. So she gives everyone else around her a chance. I mean, obviously she doesn't want any of her friends to die, but she's going to tackle Sloane just because Sloane's the one more likely to run or, I don't know, not listen to her.
Yeah, and there's this line here that I had to read like 3 times because I was like trying not to read ahead, trying to comprehend every sentence. So my first time I read it, I was like, oh my god, Eric is dead.
Oh.
It just says, I opened my eyes long enough to see Eric lying flat over the redhead under the endless stream of fire.
Right.
So like, I was kind of like reading quickly, but also trying not to read quickly. And I was like, oh, that was quick. Like, that was like the most boring plotline ever, unless the plot ends up being like, oh, now King Tori is gonna come and try to kill us all or whatever. But then I read it again, I'm like, oh no, it doesn't say he's dead. He's just lying flat. Like, not dying.
So he also covered someone like she did. Like, so he had some sort of sense of like helping another person out. That's what I got from that. And this redhead is the same one that vomited and got it on his boots, and he still jumped on late. Whatever. This redhead who's given us no name, so we're just like, okay.
I know. The only other redhead that's been mentioned is one that got thrown off the parapet, and it can't be the same redhead. So
No.
Who's this?
Yeah, so basically she can't breathe. It's so hot. It's right over their backs. And she starts to like looks around after, everybody starts to rise and stuff. And basically Solus has taken out the runners, one of their first years, and at least half of third squad. And some of them these are bonded, right? These were writers, not first years.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy. This is crazy. I'm like, how can you, I mean, I get you can't really get a dragon in trouble, but like, how can you not get in trouble?
Right? Yeah, how could you not get in trouble? Well, so Taryn yells, Silver One! And she's like, I'm alive! I like how she shouts back at him. Like, I mean, they don't need to yell at each other through their mind, but okay. But she is pretty burned, right?
Yeah, it said that like it felt like lava was licking along her back earlier. I'm like, oh God.
Wow. Yeah, and she pulls the front of her uniform and it just comes off in her hands. And for a second I was like, wait, are you naked? But no, she still has her that vest thing or whatever it is, right?
Which I guess does indicate that her armor covers her boobs. Because we talked about this before.
Yeah, we did.
Well, yeah, not saying like, oh, but uh-oh.
No, her fabric burned clean through at her back, like all the way through. So the front of her uniform just came right off, but the armor beneath stays in place because we know it's fireproof. It's dragon armor.
Right, but if it's fireproof, how is her back burned? Like, how much of her back is burned? How much of it is covered?
Well, see, we know that people who try to stab her in the heart can't get it in, so we know it covers her whole chest area, and obviously she's not covering herself right now, like, oh, my boobs, and and I think it covers her ribs, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's a little bit of a low back, but why? Because you could stab someone through the back into the heart.
It does seem like it'd be harder to defend your back than your front.
Yeah, I don't know.
While it is fireproof, I wonder, like, if you heat it up, does it still conduct heat? Like, it's fireproof, like, it's not going to melt.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, that's a good point.
Do the scales still conduct heat? So while they're being heated up, the scales are basically burning her. And then when the heat goes away, then it disperses quickly because they're dragon scale. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we know that her back, she's not, Nadine isn't looking under her armor. So whatever part of her back is exposed is torched. So it could be her shoulders, it could be the back of her arms. I mean, like she was right under the fire. So whatever, the question is what happened to her hair? The fact that her hair didn't just burn right off is amazing, but that's fine.
So we can't character coded. Well, we can't have her bald, so we're just going to have to suspend our disbelief.
That's right. I mean, her hair was probably up in that little crown she does with her braid, and maybe her head
specifically said that earlier that it was.
Yeah, and her head might have been down. She might have even covered her head and Sloane. It's possible. I don't know. Okay, So she's burnt. Riddick also, his hair got flattened.
Yeah, because it said earlier his hair was in like spikes at the top of his head, so it got burned off.
She notices that Quinn and Imogen are safe and they're rushing over to help Third Squad. They're like making sure they're all intact and everything right now. And Nadine's like, yeah, it didn't burn through your armor. So we already talked about that. Violet asks if Sloane is hurt. And she says no, but she's like flat out trembling. And then Panchik...
This is like clearly twice that
Violet has saved her life.
And I'm like, okay, how many more times until Sloane like just stops being a little bit of a bitch? Like I'm like, yeah, eventually you're gonna have to. You don't have to forgive her, but you can just hate her more internally at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right? Panchik's like, get back in formation. Riders do not balk at fire. Violet's like, the fuck we don't. Whoever didn't balk is dead.
Yeah, it's like,
huh?
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, you're like, I'm a writer, so I'm just going to stand here and die. I mean, that's not actually how that works.
Being a writer doesn't make you fireproof, you know?
Yeah. She does mention that Dane was very shocked and that all the wing leaders looked surprised. So obviously they weren't in on this. This wasn't some kind of agreed upon thing that was going to happen.
Yeah, however, guess who's dead?
Yes.
Called it. I called this death last book.
And Imogen is looking at Violet when she's like, Kieran's dead. Like this is like something she's finding as a little bit of an suspicious. It's sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is reading that way from them, especially with how many. It basically said like if her squad didn't duck, a bunch of them would be dead too.
Yes.
Who does that include? Multiple.
Imogen and her. Yeah.
Her, who they know.
Right. Exactly. So. It is very convenient that they were right in the line of where the runners are running, but okay. So they make it back in formation, and she's like thinking about the fact that a dragon just took out riders who hadn't broke formation and were bonded. It wasn't just the runners. Like that makes sense. The runners make sense. They're like, well, you're too weak to be here. Goodbye.
That's what happened last year. They that.
Anyways, this guy Varish, the asshole, starts, yelling like the wings were only as strong as her weakest rider. And she starts to feel this rage that's not hers. And I'm like, ooh, Taryn.
Here comes Taryn.
Right. Another girl goes and makes a run for it. I don't like it. The first time I get it. The second time,
I mean, oh, if you remember the first book, the way that Violet describes it, it's like an urge she had to control. Like,
I
even knowing
know.
I can't run, it was like wrestling with like an internal part of herself that doesn't respond to logic.
Yeah. Well, luckily at this point, because freaking Solus was leaning forward like he was going to do something. Although, do you notice that Kath snapped at him? Was like, stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Get
Like, the
your
other
shit
dragons
together,
are even
buddy.
being like, can you
What
not?
are you doing? Yeah. But at that point, there is some loud wing beats. And she can feel Taryn's anger and wrath. And he lands on the wall behind her, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the first years just flat out scream and run for their lives. I mean, that was it at that point, you know? But
Karen's scary.
this is
But
why.
luckily none of them get burned.
No, he
The
doesn't.
dragons are too busy fighting right now.
Yes. Yeah, that's not what this is about here. This is, oh my goodness. So yeah, so Taryn shows up and his like chest expands like he's gonna, I guess, blow fire at them. And then he says, and this is in her mind, she hears this, but obviously he's talking to Solus and he might be talking to all the dragons. I don't know. He says, you do not have
I have a feeling he is so angry he's just projecting this
everywhere
message
to any
out as loud as he can.
which means
If
technically
Zayden was close enough by, he could hear it.
yeah. Oh God, yeah. Technically, if he was talking into the other dragons' minds, their writer's probably here too. So, you would think, right? So he says, "You do not have the right to burn what is mine." His words,
like, tell them. You tell them.
I know this, like, it filled my heart up so much. Like, I mean, like, just yeah. It says, his words consume all my mental pathways as Taryn lets loose an ear-shattering roar in Solus's direction. Everyone slams their hands over their ears, including me, my entire body vibrating with the sound. So he's pissed. Yep. And then the other dragons all like take a step away from Solus. Is like, okay, we're over here. We're just innocent. Anyways, but Solus is still standing firm. He's got a little bit of courage in him, or I don't know.
I think it's a she, actually.
No.
Is it, or is it a he?
It's a he. Solus stands firm, his eye narrowing to a golden slit.
Who was a she earlier? Oh, the first year who was running.
Oh, yeah, and so is Kath, I think, is a she, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, actually, no, I don't know. Gosh darn it.
I think we thought that and it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, so Taryn extends his neck forward above their squad, snaps his teeth right in Solus's direction like a clear threat. And then Solus lets out like a rasping snarl, right? But then he takes off. He's like, okay, I get it. I guess.
And then I'm guessing that Taryn then translates what that dragon noise was in English words, because it says, like, he knows I will devour his human whole, let him rot within me while his heart still beats, and then take the eye I so graciously left him.
I don't know if I don't know if he's saying that's what that one huff was saying. I see that you're going to do all that. I think he's saying well, maybe his roar to Solus said, yeah, I will devour your human, let him rot. And then his reply back was like, okay, fine. Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
And the huff was like, oh, and I'll also take your other eye. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so
when I took your first eye.
Right. Is this the first time? Yeah. So this is where we go, oh, he must have lost that eye in a fight with Taryn already. So, yeah.
It really shows that they're very different dragons, personality-wise, these two dragons.
Yeah. And also he, like, blows, like, a gust of steam at Varish at one point before this. Kind of just, like, a warning. A warning to him, too.
Yeah, because the bond between the dragon and the rider, Varish is definitely not okay with this, you know? He might be encouraging this.
He's probably urging it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. Anyways, when he says that about what he's going to do, she's like, that's graphic. And then Taryn's like, the warning should be effective for now. And then he takes off. And so Panchek returns to the podium and says, well, then, where were we? And Varish is just like glaring at her with hatred. But you know why? You know why? Because he was just put down a notch. I mean, he was basically, his dragon was just shown that no matter how much of a bully you are, a bully can still be beat up by a bigger, stronger person.
Yeah.
So there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Also, this is just another, like, this last line of the chapter where his hatred is palpable, Varish's. And I know that even if he hadn't been my enemy before, he sure as Dune is now.
Yes.
But it's just like another great setup for this book. Like this chapter got me more excited about this book than anything before it.
Nice. I just love the whole ending. I love this whole last part of this. I just love Taryn when he gets mad and says, "Don't fuck with my human." It just brings me like joy. But
Yeah.
that ends our chapter and our episode for today. Any closing thoughts or predictions you want to give?
I think that Sloane will warm up to Violet within this book. I'm not saying soon, but within this book. I don't think it'll end with Sloane still hating her.
Yeah.
I think I think there's gonna be way more important plot stuff going on, and that will be dropped sometime within the very more important plot stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Please follow us on Instagram and Threads. We're at First Swing Pod. Also, please rate and review us. We don't have a new review to read today, but that's only because we are preparing some of these episodes ahead of time. But if you do review us, we will read it in the next podcast that we record.
This is also our last podcast separated.
Long distance.
So from now on, we should have better audio quality. Woo!
Yay. Okay, so next episode, we will cover chapters 9 and 10. Join us next time, writers.